The hard part about it is actually getting up every day and getting it done. For some of us, is to make sure that we can get up every day and get our work done, whatever it is. Because see, when you're working for yourself, you're calling your own shots. When you're calling your own shots, it's very easy for you to say, well, tomorrow I'm not going to do much. Well, you know what? I'm taking this week off. Hey, I make my own schedule, so this week I'm not going to do nothing. Well, then when things come up and you don't have the money to handle your situation, now you're looking back at it as though it's the whole thing of working for myself. I knew I shouldn't have did this. This wasn't a good idea. Well, was it a good idea? Of course it was. I know a lot of you have heard people say that working for yourself ain't easy. Oh, trying to have your own thing ain't easy. Being an entrepreneur is not easy. At least when you work a 9 to 5, you know exactly where your money's going to come from. You know exactly how much money you're going to make. You can at least rest easy at the end of the week because you know you at least put your 40 hours worth of work week. Well, yeah, that's true. Of course, when you work a 9 to 5, you're going to know exactly where your money's coming from, okay? Yeah, I work 9 to 5, and as long as I did not miss a day, as long as I was not late for work, and I went every day of the week, you can best bet that on my next paycheck, my money was going to be exactly the same as it was the week before. So I could count on that. I could depend on that. But was that what I wanted? Was that the end for me? Was that all I felt like I was worth doing? Was clocking in every day on a 9 to 5? Of course it wasn't. But now working for myself, what they say, it is true. Working for yourself can be hard. It can feel hard at least, especially when it comes to knowing where your next pay is going to come from. Sometimes your weeks can be very lucrative. Your money's coming in, it's flowing from left to right. You have so much coming in until you don't know what to do with yourself. Workload could be so thick until you feel like you may need to tell somebody, look, take some of this, give this to somebody else. This is too much. But then there are times when things slow all the way down. Don't ever think that that won't happen. And it doesn't matter what you're doing for yourself. It doesn't matter what type of work you're doing. There's going to come a time when the workload will slow down. There's a season, as I've said before, for everything. And sometimes everything is moving fast, and then sometimes it's going to move slow. And of course, that's not the hard part of it though. This is just something that you have to learn to deal with. Work is slow. You know what? Make sure you have something else lined up. Or while work was heavy, make sure you were saving, investing in yourself, coming up with other ways to make money and to keep your finances flowing. That's not the hard part about it. The hard part about it is actually getting up every day and getting it done. For some of us, is to make sure that we can get up every day and get our work done, whatever it is. Because see, when you're working for yourself, you're calling your own shots. When you're calling your own shots, it's very easy for you to say, well, tomorrow I'm not going to do much. Well, you know what? I'm taking this week off. Hey, I make my own schedule, so this week I'm not going to do nothing. Well, then when things come up and you don't have the money to handle your situation, now you're looking back at it as though it's the whole thing of working for myself. I knew I shouldn't have did this. This wasn't a good idea. Well, was it a good idea? Of course it was. It was for some of us who can get up and stand on our own. People who cannot stand on their own, those are the ones who claim all of this to be hard. It's not hard. You just have to treat yourself as though you are your own boss, because in fact you are. You are going to tell yourself to get up. You are going to be the one who makes yourself clock in your imaginary clock. You're handling all your situations on your own until your business grow large enough to where you can actually hire people up under you to actually handle these things for you. But until then, you have to handle it. If you are not one who are determined enough to get up every day and move as though you had to get to someone else's work and punch a clock, if you are not that person, then maybe working for yourself is not for you. But if you know that you don't need someone to hold your hand, and you know that if you don't get it done, it won't get done, then working for yourself is for you. It all depends on you, your determination, and how bad you really want it. So don't let people get in your ear and tell you that it's just too hard to do. It is not too hard to do. Because at the end of the day, when you start to calculate your money, once your thing has kicked off and you realize that you can make just as much working for yourself as you can a 9-to-5, you'll appreciate the fact that you actually did step out on faith and make that move. It all depends on how you can handle situations too. Work is coming in, and you're so happy, you don't know what to do with yourself. You're like overflow with joy. And then this time next month, there's no work coming in at all. How do you handle these types of situations? All of these types of things will determine as to whether working for yourself is actually hard for you or not. Are you one of those who will flip out if things get bad? If you're not and you're willing to jump in on it, start on your grind, determine that this is not going to happen the next month. If you're the type of person who can figure out a way for money to constantly flow, then this will not be a problem for you. Because I can tell you, if 1 week is good, and then the next week is good, and you look around and the whole month is good, and then this time next month there's no money coming in, if you have been blowing your money, if you have not been saving a dime, if you have just been under the impression that every month is going to be just like the month before, then yeah, you're going to be in trouble. And yeah, if you want to consider that as a part of working for yourself as being hard, then go right ahead on. But that is not a part of work being hard. That's just a part of you not being smart. But if you can put everything into account before you actually step out on this, I'm telling you, it can work. I remember when I was telling you about the job I had before, where me and my coworker would go into the bathroom every Friday and literally cry about our check. We would stare at those checks and we knew that it was not going to change as long as we're clocking in every day. But you know what? In my defense now, this was a job that I had to have at that moment. There was nothing else coming in. I come from the South, as a lot of you know, and there was not a lot of work to pick from. You were going to do what was given to you at that moment until something better could finally come around. And I was in that type of situation at that moment. And yes, I had to take whatever I could take. I had other people that was dependent on me. It wasn't just about me. And yes, we cried in the bathroom. How many of you actually go to work every day and you know that when you go, you are going to spend half of your day in the bathroom? There's nothing worse than to put on your clothes every day, go to a job, and you spend half of your time in the bathroom watching the clock, anything to get away from your coworkers, from the boss who is disrespecting you, whatever your situation may be. All of that stuff is just hard. So when someone tells you that working for yourself is hard, which one is harder? I mean, come on now. Sometimes we have to pick our poison. And I chose mine. And whichever way the wind blows, I'm willing to coast right on through it. Why? Because this is a decision that I made, and I'm happy to have made that choice. So now all of this is going to depend on you. Whether you're determined to actually do something for yourself, it doesn't matter what it is. Whatever you decide that you want to do, you need to dive in head first. Always know that this is exactly what I want. Come up with some sort of strategy and get out there and get it done. And let me tell you something. When times look like it's getting hard, always know that it's not going to always be that way. So to say that working for yourself is not easy, it all depends on how you're looking at it. Who's looking at it and through what lens. If you know that this is what you want to do, then your determination and your willpower is what's going to see you through. So don't allow anyone in your ear. Don't let those negative thoughts take over. None of those things. As you start to see your whole vision flourish, then what you need to do is just stay focused on it. Believe in yourself. Keep the faith. Believe that everything that's out there for you is for you and no one can take it from you, okay? You guys know what to do. Like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell. I'll be bringing you something back later. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day.